Welcome back to Watches That Rock. I honestly didn't think Swatch could do it again. After the Moon Swatch completely exploded across the watch world, most people assumed the hype collaboration era was over, but now Swatch has teamed up with Audemars Piguet, and suddenly the entire watch community is losing its mind all over again. Collectors are arguing, queues are forming, social media is exploding. And once again, people who normally never talk about watches are suddenly talking about horology. But here's the real question. Is the new Swatch Times AP Royal Pop collaboration actually good? Or are we just watching another hype driven frenzy unfold? Because after looking closely at these watches, um, I think Swatch may have understood modern watch culture better than almost anyone else in the industry. Now, to understand why this release matters, you have to understand what Audemars Piguet represents in the watch world. The Royal Oak is one of the most iconic luxury sports watches ever created. It's ultra exclusive, incredibly expensive, and almost impossible for most people to buy at retail. And that exclusivity is part of the appeal. So when Swatch enters the picture, everything changes because suddenly the design language of one of the most desirable watches on earth becomes accessible to a completely different audience. And honestly, that's exactly why people are freaking out about this release. Swatch understands something many luxury brands don't. Modern watch collecting is no longer only about traditional luxury. It's about culture, hype, accessibility, social media, and emotional connection. And this collaboration hits all of those perfectly. So let's talk about the actual watch. The Royal Pop collection consists of 8 colorful bioceramic models inspired by both the Audemars Piguet Royal Oak and Swatch's iconic pop watches from the 1980s. And honestly, this thing is way more interesting than many people expected because this isn't just a cheap Royal Oak copy. Swatch went in a completely different direction. Instead of a traditional wristwatch, the Royal Pop is actually a wearable pocket watch inspired design that can be worn around the neck, clipped onto clothing, attached to bags, or displayed as a desk watch. That's such a weird and risky move. But honestly, that's exactly why people are talking about it. Now, technically, there's actually some very interesting watchmaking going on here, too. The collection is powered by a new hand wound movement, Swatch's System 51 mechanical movement. And according to Swatch, it features over 90 hours of power reserve, a Nevacron anti-magnetic balance spring, fully automated Swiss-made assembly, uh, and 15 active patents linked to the movement architecture. Honestly, that's far more serious mechanically than many people expected from a hype collaboration. The watches also feature dual sapphire crystals, uh, anti-reflective coating, superluminova hands and markers, transparent case backs, and bioceramic construction made from ceramic powder and biosourced material derived from castor oil. And visually, the AP influence is obvious. You've got the octagonal bezel, exposed screw aesthetic, tapisserie style dial texture, uh, angular case architecture, and integrated luxury sports watch DNA everywhere. But importantly, Swatch hasn't tried to make this feel fake luxury. It still feels playful, experimental, and unmistakably Swatch. Um, Now we have to talk about the hype surrounding this release. Because honestly, this has become absolute chaos. Reports from the UK, US, Dubai, India, and multiple European cities showed overnight queues, store shutdowns, fights, police intervention, and even launches being canceled due to crowd safety concerns. That is insane for a Swatch release. And honestly, it proves just how powerful these collaborations have become. According to reports, resale prices started climbing almost immediately after launch, despite retail pricing sitting around the $400 mark. And this is exactly why Swatch has become such a powerful force in modern watch culture, because they understand virality. Most traditional Swiss brands still operate like it's 2005. Swatch operates more like a modern streetwear brand. Limited availability, hype driven launches, social media engagement, cultural crossover, and collector FOMO. And whether traditional collectors like it or not, that strategy clearly works. Now, of course, not everyone loves this collaboration. And honestly, that's expected. Some collectors feel collaborations like this dilute luxury brands, cheapen exclusivity, or turn watch collecting into pure hype culture. And I understand those concerns because luxury watches have traditionally been built around exclusivity, craftsmanship, scarcity, and heritage. But at the same time, the watch world desperately needs fresh energy. And collaborations like this bring younger audiences into collecting. That matters because many younger collectors simply cannot access 30,000 pounds Royal Oaks, impossible waiting lists, or ultra exclusive allocations. But this collaboration gives them a way into the culture. And honestly, that's probably good for the future of watch collecting overall. Now, here's the really interesting part. I actually think collaborations like this are becoming more important for the future of luxury watches because younger buyers behave differently now. They care about culture, identity, hype, community, and shareability, not just traditional luxury status. And Swatch understands this perfectly, and that's why the Moon Swatch exploded. And honestly, that's why Royal Pop has become one of the biggest watch stories of 2026 already. This isn't really just about the watch anymore. It's about participation in modern watch culture. Owning one becomes part of the conversation. And whether people admit it or not, that emotional connection is incredibly powerful. So, is the new Swatch AP Royal Pop collaboration overhyped? Uh, Maybe. But is it important? Absolutely. Because once again, Swatch has managed to do something the luxury watch industry struggles with constantly make watches feel fun again. And honestly, that matters more than some collectors realize because at the end of the day, the best watches aren't always the most expensive. Sometimes they're simply the watches that create excitement. And this collaboration has absolutely done that. Now, I want to hear from you. Would you actually buy the Swatch Times AP Royal Pop, or do you think these hype collaborations are starting to go too far? Let me know down in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and join us here at Watches That Rock for more luxury watch reviews, hype releases, Rolex discussions, and everything happening in the watch world right now. Uh, for more on Swatch collaborations, check out our videos on the Moon Swatch Mission to the Moon and Moon Swatch Mission to Mercury here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.